the beginning of the collaboration with Kvadrat was a misunderstanding in a way. And one day we had a request from Kvadrat. They wanted to know if we were interested to design their showroom in Stockholm. Basically, we are not interior designers, so we said no, we are not very interested. They asked us to come. We were in Stockholm, so we decided to visit the place. And once again, we said no, it's not for us. And after some months, we had an idea. We work a lot around this idea of doing wall, and we had maybe a starting point about doing wall in textiles. So we say yes, maybe we can do things together. And so for this project in Stockholm, it was very funny the first meeting when we presented the idea, because we did a small mock-up in paper and a bit of fabric, and we say the project for Stockholm for the showroom. So we were speaking about architecture. Is this piece? So there was a bit interlocked. And so it was the idea was to do a tile, so a piece of fabric, a complex piece of fabric and foam that you link together without any other component. And this tile, this brick, is a piece that composes a wall. So all this place was built in a week, with some thousand of these pieces, which were just mounted together. So,
following North style, we went to a new piece, so-called Cloud now. Maybe North style were more pliable on a wider scale, so maybe more for, let's say, larger architectural scale, and with cloud tiles we look for something first less expensive, and also that would more fit into some smaller space, and especially also domestic area.
It's more or less like in a way like a plant. The idea was that we wanted to design a piece which was interesting in very small size, and to be extremely interesting in big size.
We were looking for a piece that would really bring a three-dimensional geometry, and also that would be irregular, so a little bit the opposite of a wall or the architecture understood as, let's say, rectangular, vertical, perpendicular. And here, strangely, at the beginning, we were looking for some shapes that you would assemble in different ways, so it would change a little bit. And strangely, at one step, we found this. The logic is simple. Each line is exactly the same size, so you could connect it like this. And in between all this line, you've got all this folding line. And strangely, you would assemble two pieces with starting by, you don't have the beginning, and then they would always. Il faut que je le fasse en vrai. They would always follow each other without breaking. They would just follow by folding, but you don't really know what's gonna be the result. Still you haven't assembled them, and then the result is something that grows without any control. So when people built it, they control a little bit the outline, but roughly, and the inside is totally free. So it just made this thing that the shape would go in between faceted geometry, and would go on the other end to something, yes, that looks like a tree or stone or natural element.
The way we use these two different materials, it's for technical reason, for technical and atmospheric reason. The first one, the tempo, is a Trevira product, so it means
yes,
so it means that it doesn't burn, so you can use it everywhere.
In a railway station.
It fits all the norm of fire norms. And the other one is wool, so it has this marvelous effect of it's beautiful. It's
also not so bad for fire. Trevira CS is really good for horrible situation like a school, or in which things have to be really high level and to ranking into against fire. But wool also, it's really good against fire. That's always the question. This is more aimed for, let's say, probably some wider architectural purpose. This one is probably more soft for the house.
The effect is a bit different. Here you can see it's very geometrical. It's really perfect in a way, like more or less like a plastic piece. This one is more smooth. Both are very charming for really different reasons.
At the same time, it's main of its real, of its function is a kind of mark in the space. So of course it would divide if it would be in the center, or it would more or less indicate a wall if it's in between a wall. It's like, I think it's also this architecture at the end is something in which you need to settle, in which you need a little bit like a tribe to come in and set the fire and then organize the space as your space. A space lost, I think, the particularities they had before. I think before it was more clear that it would be the kitchens, living rooms, the things you are. Of course, not in all situations, because also a lot of people were all living in everything would happen in the same room. But still, I think we are in a time in which, due to a lot of tools, the computers, the phones, the things, that we can do a lot of different things inside the same room. But the thing is that at the end, to make different things into the same room, you don't need a lot of special feature, because at the end you need a shelving to put the things, you need a table, you need some chairs, a sofa, a bed to sleep if you need. But then I think you just need also to mark a little bit some elements. Just say that, so typically you would be on the computer and there would be a kids playing there, and helping a little bit, just saying, you know, here I'm working and here you're playing, is I think is important a little bit for the mind, and so you just have the impression is making less noise. It's like you know, this pills that doesn't have it's like a placebo, but it works really well. In fact, like a placebo.